Hello everyone, welcome back to the Mario Kart Together series, on to the second game of the series, Mario Kart 64, first 3D Mario Kart, so the rankings will be a bit more exciting. So we got the best exciting tracks. We're going every game, none of us Mario Kart made it above the bottom half, but here's the ranking and everything from the last video. And I went to my emulator. I went to time trials. I went through them all. I just did one lap because it's kind of a chore for a lot of these tracks. And I'm not too crazy about the first 3 games in the series. I think they're too dated for me to play for long, but I can appreciate them. So we'll just start off straight away with Luigi Raceway. Interesting thing about this game is that there's no circuits technically, but the raceways are basically circuit tracks. And also every track is unique, and obviously all being in 3D is very cool. Now Luigi Raceway, I like it more than Mario Raceway, I'll give it that much. I just don't think there's much going on, and as you'd expect for a raceway track, but I think the layout's alright. I think the turns are decent enough. The track is actually wide, which is a problem. Wide enough. A problem. A lot of the N64 tracks weirdly have where there's just so much empty off-road, and it makes the tracks feel kind of barren. I guess the Super Mario Kart had the same issue, but it's clearer here because obviously it's 3D graphics and whatnot, whereas the 2D charm manages to stick with Super Mario Kart. So I think it's like a Donut Plains level track, you know. It's only better than all the circuit tracks we had before. Actually, it's just a lot of the issues. I guess maybe like N64's like gameplay changes, maybe like you guys a bit more. You know, I'll just stick it there. It's somewhere amongst the circuit, my favorite circuit tracks and the Donut Plane tracks. Because they're not crazy, you know. I do like the Mario Kart 7 remake of it. I think it did a very good job. But yeah. Next we have Meru Farm. Now, I think it's getting here. Like the top of the worst tracks. Like genuinely, it is a circle with some bumps and some Monty Moles. Which I do like the bumps, and I think that's the thing that puts at the top for me. Obviously, because you can't trick off any in this game. Not much there. It just makes for like a decent flowing experience. No off-road or anything, no shortcuts. There's a bridge, and you can like hit off the sides, which is just annoying. It's not an exciting obstacle by any means. And yeah, the layout is literally just a kind of messed up circle. So yeah, it's one of the weaker tracks. The thing that I like it, the DS, I'm gonna be playing them back on my DS once I get to the video for the DS tracks. And the start is probably tainted me for a lot of them. But yeah, I'll see how I rank them. Because obviously the DS retro tracks don't actually change much, so I'm interested to see where I rank the DS version. But the N64 version, maybe it's just like the pairing of the poor game. Like, it's not poor gameplay, but you know, it's dated. It's something that's no longer something I can like properly enjoy. And the track's just bland. Next is Koopa Beach, which actually has a decent amount going for it. You know, you got like an underwater bit you can go through, which also has these crabs. There's no real point of going there, but it's a thing you can do as you race, which allows for like a wider track, you know. And obviously the main track. There's a lot of ramps. My gripe is the ramps literally have the speed boost, like yellow and red speed boost thing, but they don't actually give you the boosts. It's really weird, and I can't think of any track that does it. Because when you get the ones that actually do speed boost, you'll see the arrow moving, but with them they don't, and it's very odd, and it looks pretty bad. There's some neat stuff though, like, but the problem is there's no tricking off ramps, and they don't give you the boost. It makes these ramps feel useless, and it just makes me puzzled as to their inclusion. Like, there's a big one that you can use to jump over this rock. That's actually useful and kind of cool. And there's this one to go through a hole in this rock, and that's very cool, even though it's very hard to do. So I could appreciate a lot of things in this track, but I don't think it was executed too well. I don't think on Mario Kart something to truly reach, to truly fulfill this track's potential. But I like what was here. Again, it's kind of like a Koopa Beach thing. I'd put it, above the Koopa Beach tracks. Of course, it's basically equivalent of a Koopa Beach glow up, really. Negro Calamari Desert, and I love this track in 8 Deluxe. 7 is pretty decent, but it's not good in this game. The train's at least fun, like it causes some chaos, but when you can drive on the side of the tracks, but that's at least neat. It plays an awful sound effect when you drive on the tracks, though. I hate it. But then besides the tracks, it's just a overly long, drawn out, generic desert track. That's the thing, there wasn't much to do with the trains until the booster course pass, where lap 2 forces you to go on the tracks, to go through that tunnel, which is really cool, and that makes it one of my favourite tracks of all time. But this one's nothing, and there's no ramps or anything. No, there's technically shortcuts just because there's so much off-road, and that's about it. The layout's pretty basic, there's nothing really going on. So it's probably at least has the train gives it more than Mario Circuit 2, and Vanilla for drive on. But yeah, I don't think it's that high. I don't think it deserves to be that high. I really do not. Next is Toad's Turnback, which I actually do quite enjoy. I think the cars are good. There's a challenge, but also it's not annoyingly difficult, which is a problem a lot of the old games have with their obstacles, but not here. My problem though is that it's way too long. I think it would have been a solid track if it didn't take 2 to 3 minutes or some shit. I did the full race. It took me over 5 minutes on the timer. That is ridiculous. Which makes it not fun to go on, but the track is it's not fun to do the full 3 laps. It drags out, and that's his main flaw. The track itself, completely fine. If the track was just 2 laps, then I'd put in solid. But yeah, I'm willing to look past it to still put it in the top. Probably this is probably the best track we've got so far. I think it's very good. It's just way too long. Next is Sherbet Frothy Snowland. My bad. That's probably the actually good snow track in this one. I like the layout. You're not driving on the ice. It's just a snowy path, so the physics aren't fucked, which helps. I love the theme. I love the little Yoshi and Mario as well. They have their own little snow statues. I really like it. I really love the theming on this track. Most charming soundtracks, and it ends in this pretty cool thing where you go in between this these 2 hills. And it could be some pretty intense in the games, and I had a really awesome race on Frothy Snowland. It's more on the simple side. All these are pretty solid simplistic tracks. We're still on that level of simplicity, really. But I do appreciate this one, and there's some snow stuff you need to cut through. A little bit of shortcuts. I think it's a low solid. It'll probably be a very low solid by the end of this. But I think we found our first solid track. I do quite like N64 Frothy Snowland. Next is Chocolate Mountain, and I'm a big Chocolate Mountain fan. particularly the 8 Deluxe Glow Up, you know, because I think there's a little, like, cave bit, like the main appeal to it. You just drive through it and there's nothing inside. Whereas 8 Deluxe is like a cave, there's like shortcuts and it ends with a glide ramp. It's not that. Here, you just go through and then it takes you to the bridge, which goes off into the little boulder bit. And the boulders can be a bit annoying. But I still like that section. I still think it's pretty decent. I obviously love the theming of this. I think the layout's great, you know. Some good turns. I think this is solid. And it deserves to be next to Frappy Snowland. I don't know which I'd prefer here. I feel, I guess it's because I like the remake so good. I guess that it makes it feel like Chocolate Man is leaves more to be desired, but I don't know. I'm gonna start with Frappy Snowland at the top, and next is Meru Raceway. It's Mario Circuit 2, I guess. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. Like, the piranha plants, they exist. They're not really an obstacle. The turns are just annoying. They're too tight. There's a perfect opportunity for like a good mushroom shortcut. One I was realizing like one of the remakes. But for some reason they have like a little like bigger mushroom thing like blocking it off, so you can't actually like properly do a shortcut. Then there's this fucking thing with the the pipe. You drive through the pipe. That's like the iconic thing about it, right? That's why I remember on the Wii, because you can go at the side. You gotta drive up this or anything. It just exists. It's just an environmental piece. Nothing you can do with it, and then you reach the finish line. It's really nothing. It's really nothing, but so that's why I put it. Just a bit of a Mario Circuit 2. Again, with the layouts, it does not even come close to Mario Circuit 3 and 4. They have really good layouts, despite being plain, and this does not offer anything in the 3D style to really make it pop or anything. Wario Stadium N64. I love the Diaspora Stadium. This version I do not care for. It has the same problem as Toad's Turnback. I said, it like at its core, it's not even as good as the track. It's like I haven't mentioned music much. Because music in Mario Kart overall just pretty solid. You know, and the music doesn't really like affect my joy from the track. Obviously, I appreciate the music in Mario Kart, but yeah, I don't really think about it in terms of like ranking a track. That's kind of like a separate thing to me. But it is weird that this is the same like theme as the Raceway tracks. Mario Raceway. It's weird. It doesn't really fit the theme of the track, and the track it's just mud, and you got like some hills. I think the layout's pretty decent. The problem is it's just too big. Maybe like it just takes forever. There's too many boring bits. It's just kind of like an ugly track. I'm not a fan of it. It led to Diaspora Stadium now, which is good. I guess Waluigi Stadium by extension. Yeah, this one is pretty bad. I don't know. Like, yeah, above Vanilla Lake 2, I guess. But even above Mario Circuit 2, I'd rather race on like that. But then again, I could bring the argument about Mario Circuit 1 there, couldn't I? Yeah, we'll go with that actually. Mario Circuit 2 about it. Because Mario Circuit 2 doesn't drag out as much. I mean, it has the 5-lap thing, but even then, it's still quicker. You know, like they are tracks that I just want to get over with. They're just too basic, but their layout isn't exciting enough, and they just drag out. Next is Frappy Snowland. That has the Vanilla Lake problem, except obviously it's a bit better. I like the penguins. I like the little cave bits, kind of neat, I guess. I really don't like the look of the track or anything. I'm not a fan of it. I just like the penguins, and that's about it. The ice, the ice isn't as fucked in this game, but it's still like rough to drive on. The layout's not like great. And yeah, you just kind of go around the same generic like ice bit, and then you reach the finish line. The cave bit adds something. There's this one thing like this big like rock, and you can also like go around it, but there's no point to going around it. But the thing you can do, so yeah, I'll put it there. Next is Royal Raceway. I like a Deluxe's Royal Raceway. This one is alright actually. I it's probably like a meh tier, you know. It's definitely my favorite raceway track. I think the track could be a bit wider, and the environment there's not much going on. But that's a critique for the rest. It's just more noticeable here. But even then, there's a really cool bit in the background because there's Peach's Castle, and you can actually drive to it, and it's like got the same layout. It looks pretty much identical to the outside of Peach's Castle in Mario 64, and that's a really cool touch, even though it's not relevant to the track at all, which feels like a waste to me. I feel like if you if you bothered doing that, you could have just made us like drive around. Not like go into the castle or anything, but you know, like drive, like I guess actually drive around it. Like including it is really cool, but obviously in terms of tracks isn't too much. Yeah, that's about it because it's very simple. I do like the layout though. I'd probably just put it. I put it with Luigi Raceway. I'm a Donut Plains stan. I still like Donut Plains more. I do think all the Donut Plains are quite fun to drive on. You know, Super Mario Kart, which is weird to say, but yeah. Next is N64 Bowser Castle. I really like the theming of everything on this track. It just doesn't play well. It does not play well. The thumps are annoying. It's way like the track needs to be a lot wider. It's way too compact, like the corridors and stuff, which gives it its own charm. I like how like heavy and compact is kind of cool. To see, just not to drive on. That's the thing. It's not fun driving. It's like a spiral thing to need to be wider. Everything needed to be wider with this track. It just needed upscaling slightly, and it would have been fine to drive on. Yeah, there's like some good mushroom shortcuts you can take, and also with these bushes, which act was like a kind of an obstacle, but one that doesn't like, it's not like the mushroom tunnel that just actively like blocks you from doing like a mushroom shortcut, like in Mario Raceway, like they're just kind of there and add something to the track, you know. Like there's a lot going on with this track. I'm just not. I just wish it was like upscaled a bit. So it isn't the greatest to drive on, but it's not bad to drive on or anything. I think it's still solid. I just don't think, you know, like the driving experience isn't anywhere near as smooth as Chocolate Man or Frankly Snowland. Although it's turnbike, but Bowser Castle doesn't drag out and is probably just better theming. It's down the best theme we've seen for like a track here. It's like it has the most going on at this point from these first two games. And next we have DK Jungle Parkway, or whatever it's called. It's something like that. I think I got it right, but not crazy about this track. Again, the music doesn't really bother me, but I think it's worth pointing out. This is my least favorite music in Mario Kart. I really don't like the one for DK Jungle Parkway. Yeah, it's Jungle Park. It is Jungle Parkway. Okay. There is actually a decent amount going on in the track, which ends up actually making it drag out because the stuff that's going on isn't that exciting. You know, you're trying for a jungle, obviously. You get this big jump over this you know, with this ramp. It's just like there's not really anything to do there. It's just a thing. It's kind of cool, but I've never really been a fan of it. I wasn't a fan of how it was done in the Wii. It doesn't really make sense to me. You just got a big ramp that happens to take you over this massive stream. It feels odd to me. It takes me out of because it just doesn't really fit Mario Kart logic. There's no other ramp that takes you that far. I know there was always one because before the glide ramps we just had obviously But you'd have like a big jump and whatever, and it just sends you automatically. That's the thing. They're not interactive. These jumps, the big ones. There's jumps that happen. So yeah, what are kind of cool. I just don't really care for them. Then you like do some more turns, and there's a cave, which is kind of cool. Before that, you're getting like thrown, like shit's getting thrown at you. I think it's like pine cones or something. Probably in the jungle or whatever. I'm guessing it's monkeys. I don't think you see any. They just kind of like show up on your screen. It doesn't really show who's from. It's kind of, which is kind of neat, but it's very obnoxious. I like the idea. It's just obnoxious. And yeah, that's the thing. This game has a ton of good ideas, but the gameplay makes it so obnoxious every time they try and do some obstacle or whatever. And then the cave, for the cave. The problem is the cave is literally empty. So I'm not a fan of the cave. But I do like that I like the idea that there's just a cave there. It feels like there's a lot going on, but simultaneously there's not much there. If you know what I mean. You go to the cave. Then there's this bridge. The bridge is way too thin. Like the track is pretty wide, and it's just like, hey, go down this thin bridge, and you can't fall down the sides. I don't think so. I don't know why they did that. It's just awkward. DK Mountain definitely did like the Rocky Bridge before the finish line a lot better. There's a decent amount going on. I'm just not a big fan. Like, if I think about it, I probably like I'll put it at the top of bad tracks because I will admit it has a lot of good things. It's just not for me. I don't think. So I just don't feel like putting it above bad. But I will admit it has. I can get why people would like it. I do think that it has good qualities. Next is Yoshi Valley. And different pathways. Someone is like in the 8 version. And that's probably the only notable thing on this track, really. I do like the layout in general, though. The Yoshi Valley, the Yoshi theming, it's never really been there besides the big egg. Like rarely. Which is fine. But yeah, it's not really like a crazy, exciting like theme track, Like, it's just the layout's really cool because you have the different routes and stuff. I think it's like... I don't think this is quite a solid, just because, like, the different routes, none of them are really viable. That's like the one like unique quality I was going for, but there's only like one worth going. So it's kind of like with the raceways. And the raceways, like Luigi Raceway and Royal Raceway, feel a bit more refined, I guess. That's the right word. I don't know much to say about Yoshi Valley, It's meh. Like, if I have much to say, it's definitely meh. And now we have Banshee Boardwalk. I like Banshee Boardwalk. Yeah, pretty cool. I think it's an unpopular track. I don't really know. It's fine to drive on, it's nothing that crazy. You go into like this fun weird like building, like ruins and shit. Which isn't really anything exciting because, again, there's nothing, just like a neat idea, but there's nothing going on once you get inside. Like Bowser Castle is the only one that really delivers for that kind of shit where you go inside stuff. So that's how I see it anyway. But yeah, I like the theming. It's only an improvement to the Ghost Valleys. Drastically so. I think it's like another tier up to the Ghost Valleys. I'll put it up here next to Toad's Tim. I think it deserves that. I think it's pretty cool. Maybe it's solid tier. I just don't think it, like in this game at least. it's not that exciting to drive on. It's not exciting on DS, but DS feels a lot more solid. And it doesn't really change anything. It just fits that game a bit more, I guess. So I'll leave it there. Obviously, we can change stuff later. I don't know. But finally, we have N64 Rain Road, my least favorite Rainbow Road. It drags out way too long. It looks a problem is that it's way too quick because it just turned to one lap, which rightfully so because this track takes for fucking ever. It's Toad's Turnpike's problem, but like times infinity. Okay, that's a reach, but way too long, and it's not that exciting. Again, it's probably my least favorite Rainbow Road layout. I like the gold rims and stuff. It looks decent, especially it's aged pretty well, experience wise. Yeah, I think this bomb is bad. I'm willing to keep it out of the worst tier, but it's rough. It is very rough. Yeah, that's all I could say. Again, I'm not much of again, I don't really play much of the other games, but I am familiar. I've played all these tracks. Maybe if I obviously got good at the game, maybe I have different views. But this is kind of initial thoughts, I guess, from playing them all a couple times. Yeah, we've got some solid tracks here finally. We go through the list, for obviously Snow and Chocolate Mountain. 2 tracks I just think are just genuinely very solid. Bowser Castle, I'm putting it up here. Again, I have problems with how the racing on it feels, but I will commend it for having so much for the time. This is definitely the most going on in a track, the most obstacles, the most environments. You go through so many different areas. And at the same time, it doesn't feel like it drags out. And the main tracks, Toad's Turnpike, I do really enjoy. It's just too long. Banshee Boy, I think, is just very good. There's just something missing from making it solid, I think. I don't know what it is. I guess maybe it's not a lack of stuff going on, because it's just a boardwalk, Ghost Valley, but then also there's a bit more with the buildings and stuff and the bats. And the Raceway track's solid, same for Valley, Cuba True Beach. My gripes with it feels like untapped potential, which obviously Mario Kart 7 rectified. Obviously got bad tracks, but yeah, overall, N64 they've done a better job than Super Mario Kart. Expect more on high tiers. Well, actually, next is Super Circuit, so maybe don't. But yeah, we'll see. I've got to play through Super Circuit tracks. There's anything I played through them all, really. If I have, I don't remember. But I'll do that. And then I'll dive in the next video. I rank all of them. And there's quite a lot. There's quite a lot to cover. But yeah, thank you for watching this video, everyone. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.